afternoon, everybody. This is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from, yes, once again, downtown Manila. And we're on stage with 15 minutes of fame. And if you'd like to be on our show, 15 minutes of fame, think about it, guys. It's $30,000 for a TV commercial. 10 radio spots will set you back between $3,000 and $5,000. You can come on 15 minutes of fame and we'll put you across all the social media channels, Reddit, Quora, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course, YouTube with all your social media links, and we'll make you more famous than what you already are, just like we're going to do for our next guest, a lovely lady from my home country, or my previous home country. I left there 13 years ago, but it's Miss Lillian Zeltser. And Lillian has a wonderful title. She's an author, Natural Stimulants and Aphrodisiacs Expert. Now, this is a very interesting subject, guys, for some of you older men. And the company's name is Dr. Zeltser Pty Ltd. The industry is Functional Foods and Beverages. And to be in the business, they know a little bit about this stuff, guys. They've been doing this for 40 plus years. Can you imagine that, guys? 40 years. They've traveled the world. They've researched the best products. So if you want to know more, reach out to Lillian. I'm sure she'll be happy to tell you. Brief description: our company researches, develops, and provides natural stimulants as a complement to the conventional therapies. Key achievements: development of effective functional foods and beverages. Personal motto or philosophy is life's meant to be a ball. And it is. Think about it, guys. This is not a dress rehearsal. You're not coming back. So if you don't enjoy it, no one's going to enjoy it for you, right? So interesting fact about herself. Lillian, she hears colors. She's going to tell you all about that a bit later. In the meantime, let me introduce my guest all the way from Melbourne. Good afternoon, Lillian. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for having me on your program, Jeff. It's
you're most
very
welcome.
Exciting to be at the same time in Manila and Melbourne and everywhere else in the world. We live in amazing times.
That's the one.
So thank you very much again.
Tell us about your journey and go back and tell us how it all started and what inspired you to pursue your current career path. Sounds like a big adventure. Tell us all about it.
Well, while your program is 15 minutes of fame, it will take me probably longer than 15 minutes. I can say yes to put my life journey in a capsule of 15 minutes impossible, even if I'll call it an elevator pitch.
Right. Let's do the elevator pitch. Let's try our best.
Well, in 1986, it was 10th wedding anniversary that my husband took me to France, to Paris,
wow.
Out of all the places, city of love, to celebrate it. And well, being a doctor, medical doctor, he is a nerd who loves old books. Mm-hmm. So he took me to the left bank of Siena, where all the bookstores are, and dived into one of the Shakespeare and Company bookstore. When he came out 2 hours later, he had a couple of books with him. One of them was Boccaccio Decameron. Mm-hmm. It is a tractate of erotic novels written in 14th century.
Wow.
Beautiful original book, but the book cover was falling apart. So when we came back to the hotel, he asked for the sticky tape and tried to put into the book. And mm-hmm. something fell out of the book. And I picked it up, opened, and it was just one page handwritten text with lines going like a recipe sort of thing. And the title was L'amour. Mm-hmm. So I said, Victor, do you want it? Or check and bin? It's something different. He said, no, give it to me. So he put it back into the book. Well, to cut the story short, we went for lunch, and during our lunch, he was making jokes saying, hey, you know what? I actually looked at that page. It has all different botanicals on it. And right. In my course, medical course, I studied most of them, and most of them are stimulants, right. Adaptogens. And I wouldn't be surprised, he said, if the title L'amour actually suggests that it's some sort of last portion. And it was put there by previous owner of the book for us to find it.
Oh,
and
amazing.
when I'll come home, he said, I will have to make it. Well, and that's how it all started. And of course, we laughed ourselves off.
What a story. Amazing story.
But nevertheless, we came back home to Melbourne in 86. There were no computers or very few.
Yeah, just starting off, yeah.
Yeah, my husband set up a little lab at the back of our property. There is an old stable that people used for carriages and horses, and laneway. You probably know these kind of properties.
Sure.
So he set up his lab and started experimenting. But to experiment, he had to find ingredients which were on that page that we found. So he went to the library looking for where they all come from and so on. We went to Chinatown to see herbalists there.
Sure.
And we couldn't find anything. And one of the old herbalists said, look, you won't find everything what you have there. You might find few, and they won't be good quality simply because they probably old, sitting
dried or
So if you want something potent, you need to go to the place of origin and find it there.
Wow.
And that's how it started our journey. I was running music schools. My true profession is concert pianist and composer. So I was busy, and plus I had 2 children, and my husband was working at Alfred Hospital at the time. He's a doctor. We couldn't go straight away finding it. So it took us years to go every holiday to a different country, different destination, and look for those botanicals. In the process, I met with many interesting people, scientists, anthropologists, doctors, botanists, name it. And of course, many ethnical people who live there and who use their natural stimulants, what we call, in everyday life. And they believe in it and it works. So it opened my eyes on these
opportunities. Yeah, correct.
And after smuggling to Australia, smuggling, it is a true word because we are not allowed to drink just plants. So I did have to smuggle during all those years little bits and pieces and roots and bark and berries and other stuff and minerals. So finally, after many years of trial and error, my husband made it, tested internally, and then we went to Switzerland to externally test what we call Aphrodope.
Wow,
or
amazing.
It's better to see it here.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, see it well.
Okay, so what it is subtracted from plants, and it is something that can restore a person's libido.
Wow.
It works for both men and women.
Right.
And it's available in larger bottles, like you can see there.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Behind me. It's about 750 ml, and the little ones. But it's pleasant to drink, but the effect of it, not like your Viagra, it doesn't work immediately like that. In nature, it doesn't. What happens if you take every day 1 shot?
Yeah, and it improves you. Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, in 2 weeks' time, you will feel the effects.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, well, a lot of times I hear people saying, Lillian, what you do with yourself? You have 24-year-old granddaughter. I never had needle in my face or anywhere.
Right.
I'm too scared of it. But I do look a lot younger than I am.
Yes.
And I really think it is the natural stimulants that I use.
Yeah,
My
awesome.
husband, being a doctor, he also developed integrative medicine approach to any kind of problems that people come to him with.
Uh-huh.
What's integrative or integrated medicine? It is
Yes.
medicine that is conventional medicine in combination with natural things available. You mentioned before we started recording music therapy. Yeah,
Yes.
music can be therapy. The same
Correct.
with energy, the same with aromas, with our tactile ability to feel things, our intuition, our mind depends on natural stimulants. And natural stimulants are not limited to just plants.
Yeah, correct.
I think I answered your question, but I went already into
No, you went well.
next chapter. So
Tell me.
please ask me other things.
No trouble. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that? I guess the most challenging part has been going to different countries and finding a bit here and a bit there and a bit somewhere else, yeah?
And smuggling it and learning different, different customs.
Yes.
Well, gesticulation in different countries is different. You cannot say that sign would be always good. In some countries, it means something else.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Well, so yes, there were challenges, but altogether, if I had to start my life all over again, I still would do it again.
Obviously, you've had some wonderful adventures. You told us earlier about the important moment in your career that changed your life. That was a piece of paper falling out of the book. In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that you believe, apart from your determination, what are the key qualities and skills that you believe have contributed to the success of you and your husband and your products?
Curiosity and persistence.
Yeah, that's very important, isn't it?
I really wanted to try for myself. And my husband wanted to see if it's possible that such a thing exists. So, yes, he created it using that recipe, and it proved to be potent because we went to Lausanne University in Switzerland, where they actually, in 2010, when in Melbourne there were no, well, it was, I think, 1 or 2 MRI machines.
Yeah.
So they used functional MRI, where they put person into the tube.
Yeah.
And let's see his brain function in next door room. And after he took some of the Aphrodisiac, his pleasure center lit up and was pulsing. It definitely, well, the conclusion was that, yes, it works and it excites pleasure center. So it was something that we went for and we achieved. Yeah, I would say it's a life achievement.
Tell me, how do you and your husband, well, it's not hard, I guess, to stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field? I suppose you're always looking for new, with your husband's research and your talents, I suppose you're always looking for new ideas and new products all over the world.
Everywhere, and life is not stagnant. There are many open doors, and depends what you choose. But if you have one direction and you follow that direction, you will achieve bigger goals. My interests are not just linked to Aphrodisiac or functional foods. I write music till these days. I just finished my musical, which I'm looking for sponsors to sponsor and to stage. It's about environment. It's environmental musical. Yes, it has a lot of fun in it, and original music that I composed.
Fantastic.
Well, or I did write a book during COVID. It's Aphrodisiac Adventures. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it perfectly. Very good.
It is a book that contains, I was just bored, so I couldn't go anywhere during COVID. And I described what I found in a number of countries, And there are recipes, historical references, and it would be fun actually to prepare some of the recipes and try on your own table and on your own guests if it works.
Sounds awesome.
I guarantee you'll have a lot of fun.
No doubt. Tell me a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of, please.
Recently, it's just I mentioned my musical.
Yes.
Yes, the title of the musical is SOS, Save Our Souls.
Save Our Souls. Yeah.
It's about nature and our abuse of natural resources, but it sounds boring, but you can look at it.
I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
From different angle.
Yeah. Speaking of soul, I tell people ask me, what do you like about Bangkok? I go to Bangkok sometimes, Thailand, and I said, the only best way I can explain it to people is this: the place has got soul, because when you walk out of your door, there's music, there's bars, there's nightclubs, there's food, and it's 24/7. It's just vibrant, right? So if you're in your room doing nothing and you're sort of a bit down, you just got to open the window or open the door and step out into the street, and you'll change your mood almost immediately, because Bangkok has really got soul.
I totally agree with you. Bangkok is amazing, but you can be as lonely in Bangkok as in Norway or anywhere. It all depends on your health, mental, psychological, emotional health, your state of where you are at the moment when you open the window. Yep. Some people open window and they hear beautiful music and they say it's horrible noise. Others would love that, would start dancing. It's all
it's got a
mindset.
Yeah,
your mindset.
Your attitude controls your altitude, right?
Absolutely.
Tell me, what advice would you give someone who's aspiring to follow up in your footsteps? What would you tell them? A younger version of you.
Well, to start with, come join me. I'll be happy to share.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be really curious about things, how this world is made, what makes it tick.
Yes.
If you don't like discovering things, you don't like people, then that kind of business is not for you.
Yes. It's interesting you mentioned that. Years ago, when I was a lot younger, people would say to me, oh, you're going to Asia? Oh, you can't drink the water. They don't have bread. They've only got rice. It was total bullshit. I got over here and I had some of the best food I've ever had in my life in Asia. And you can drink the water, guys, probably not from the tap, and it's not advisable, but you can drink it from the tap. I don't. But, everything's fine in Asia. In every part of the world, there's good and bad. If you went to Mexico, some parts they're chopping off people's heads, but probably only if you're a drug dealer. This is drug dealer fighting drug dealer. Other parts of Mexico are fabulous, So it's all to do with your perspective on life, guys, and a lot of common sense, right? And a bit of research.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah. Tell us, looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? Lillian?
Well, I would like to, I'm not a marketer as such. I'm perhaps a creator. I'm creative soul. So I'm looking for somebody to help me with Aphrodisiacs, to put it on the map everywhere. Because all we did, we just made it available online in 2007. And we are selling, but it's only to a certain circle of people. So if we could put it on a larger scale and make it more, make more people be aware of the product, it would be one of the goals that I would like to set.
Tell me, in your opinion, how many mil, I got a question for you, because I am a marketer, I got a question for you. How many mil, like the small bottle, how many mils in that bottle, the one you held up, how many, is that 100 mil? What is that? How much?
That's 50 mil.
50
that
mil.
contains two portions. Two portions, it's 25 ml each, which is about tablespoon.
Right. Okay.
And that's what you need to activate your pituitary gland.
Would that be enough to feel some effect?
Not straight away. You would need 2 weeks supply to start feeling something
Better.
is happening.
Yeah.
My hormones start working.
Yes.
My hair grows darker color. My
I feel more vibrant. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you just feel better. Yeah. Funny you say that because I just had some sort of medical condition. I got a blood test in Malaysia, and my doctor put me on a course of, which I don't like. I don't like tablets, hate tablets. Yeah, he put me on a course of tablets, so I took them reluctantly. And I must say, I really believe it. 3 days later, I'm feeling better than what I was. I'm actually, I can feel it. So I know what you're saying about the feeling. I genuinely feel better than what I was 3 days ago. And I believe I'll continue with the tablets. I think it's a 2 week supply. And I believe that I'll be back to how I was, you know. So I get the concept, and I'm all. And by the way, guys, I mean, try this instead of Viagra. If you look up, you do your research, guys. And I know, because I'm an old guy and I've tried all these things. 70% of people get hot flushes and very bad headaches with Viagra. You might take it once, twice, and be fine. The third time, you'll be sorry you took it. So look for natural alternatives, guys. It doesn't have to be like Viagra. Viagra is something man-made. Look for natural.
Viagra is good as Band-Aid to use occasionally, but if you want to restore your natural libido, that's what you go for, natural stimulants.
Yeah. What is the cost? What is the cost of one bottle, and where do people get it at the moment?
At the moment, it's online. It's aphrodop.com, which is like Aphrodite. You can see APHRO. Okay.
Yep. I love your billboard, Lillian. Can I see it again? I love that billboard. It lights up. It's an awesome billboard.
Well,
you've done well.
Plenty of these T-shirts, which we would be able to.
I would look as good. I wouldn't look as good in you in one of those T-shirts. You look fabulous. Tell me, what's the cost approximately?
It depends on
the size.
On size and where it should be sent to, because the cost is one cost, but the
shipping is different. Yeah,
shipping and unfortunately, it's different, and different countries have different
rules. Yep,
rules and regulations
rates
for alcoholic, because it is 35% alcohol level.
Right. Okay.
Because we don't use any preservative colors or any. It's absolutely natural.
Yes.
So it works not only for men, Jeff, it works for women
as well. Yeah, sure. Tell me, if I was in Melbourne and I wanted to buy it in Melbourne, what's the cost? If it wasn't going to go very far, if I'm in
the large bottle, the large bottle is 120 Australian dollars, and the small bottles are 750.
Right. Okay. How much is in the large bottle?
It's 500 ml.
Right, half a litre. Okay,
yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, so it's basically, the large bottle is, I'm thinking out loud, the large bottle was 500 and the small one was 100 ml or 50 ml? 50 ml, wasn't it? So the large one's 10 times, basically 10 times the size. So ideally, you'd get the large bottle so you can go through the full course, because one small bottle is not going to be enough. It might do something, but it won't do a lot, correct?
Oh, yeah. But
it's like having one Scotch and Coke versus half a bottle.
The thing is, it's good not only to sip on rocks like your whiskey, but also amazing in coffee, in tea, in hot chocolate.
Yeah, another way.
You can add it to.
I might get a bottle and start putting in my girlfriend's coffee.
Really pleasant.
Yeah. You got my evil mind thinking now the things I could do. Lillian, you've been an awesome guest.
You're a very naughty man.
Yeah. Tell us, before we wrap this up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
Well, Jeff, you did mention that I do hear colors.
Yes.
I didn't know that it was a phenomenon until I was in my 40s. I thought that everyone does hear colors or sounds that represent certain color.
Yes.
Being a musician, I played music, and it always associated with different colors. Now I know there is a label to it. It's called synesthesia. So I am synesthete. So in other words, my brain somehow connects music with sounds. There are some other connections that people experience, like certain smells with certain memories, or it could be
that's interesting.
Words with taste and so on.
Yeah, it's interesting. The thing about our senses, like the hearing and the seeing and feeling, all our senses, I mean, we're probably only using 5 or 10%, if that. Because I know myself, you know, at our age, Lynn, you go past something like, just say, fairy floss, right? And you can actually smell the fairy floss when you go to the local show, whereas when you're a kid, you didn't think about it. But now you go, oh, what's that smell? Oh, it's fairy floss, or oh, it's the donuts, or whatever, you know. And it brings all these memories flooding back to you.
Absolutely, but don't you remember time when just a thought of someone would set you on fire?
Yeah, of course, of course.
So association of love and image of somebody. Well, we all.
Yeah, and the other thing too is you being an expert on music, I'm sure that you know when as I say, it's a concert of some kind, you can hear all the different instruments, whereas the average person just hears a sound. I'm sure with your finely tuned brain, you hear the percussion, you hear every part of the orchestra. And
Absolutely. Being a professional musician, I know symphonic orchestra intimately. I know all the diapasons of a single instrument and capacity of what they can deliver. And it makes life even more colorful.
Absolutely.
And music more colorful.
Well, then you've got what I call a true appreciation of the arts, not just, you know, not just hearing a noise, so to speak. I mean, we're going to wrap this up now. You've been a wonderful guest. Thank you very much for coming on today. And guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame and you want to come on the show and tell your story to the world, just like Lillian has, and what a fantastic story it was. If you want to know more about Lillian and her products, please reach out, make a phone call. Lillian's an amazing woman. You'll probably keep you on the phone for an hour. She's got so much information to share with you and some adventures, and we've had some great times together. So Lillian, once again, thanks for being on the show, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Let me give you a kiss, Jeff. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Can we see the billboard one more time? There it is. There we are, folks. All right. Thanks, Lily. You've been awesome.